Hello, everybody. We are back here with more sports content because SmackDown was nothing. Like I'll get a review out late, probably a few hours before Survivor Series or later this afternoon. But dude, SmackDown was like a nothing go home show. Like you had nothing enforced except Roman Reigns looking cool. So this was practically what we had for a majority of the free agency period so far after a pretty okay draft. But we'll go into that later. Right now, we have seen Kay Bowman that had a couple starting periods with the Golden State Warriors after an injury from Stephen Curry. Left him over, I think over like 40 or 50 starts. And he got crossed up a couple times over the preseason, if you guys don't remember, against the same guard. I think it was D'Angelo Russell, and he scored on him twice. Or no, I think that was somebody else. But other than that, holy crap. Kind of saw this coming. Sadly, as well, we have, of course, Chimizi Matu. I cannot pronounce it. I apologize for the player. Hopefully he finds a home. But, yeah. James Johnson, former Miami Heat, has just been received by the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been getting the most W's when it comes to rebuilding. I don't see yet to fire Billy Donovan. But, they picked up decent depth pieces. They got off Kelly Oubre Jr., the decent backup guard, over Ricky Rubio. They can set up and get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander built around such a young core after what was meant to be a contender over the past, 3 seasons. But I think over what I've been seeing, I think I'm seeing the Thunder get a lot of W's. Except the Danny Green trade. But other than that, pretty fun. So, the Timberwolves received back Ricky Rubio from the Thunder over a trade over the Knicks draft pick. Oh shoot, they don't want Ricky Rubio. So they bring him back to his old team where he got drafted. Next up, the Pistons received Dwayne Dedman over Tony Snell and Kyrie Thomas. I actually did not see this coming. So that's their former first-round pick that they got, I think, 2018 draft. And Tony Snell, that's been a bench warmer since his time in Chicago when, Derrick Rose was still all-star. And then a great re-signing for the Miami Heat. We returned back Gabriel Vincent, our second-round pick, for a two-way contract. Oh, yeah, Bulls re-signed Denzel Valentine. I thought it was Jeff Jones Jr. because I think he's also a free agent. And he's a great skill playmaker down the jet. And, of course, he had the best highlight makers. He's a former dunk contest winner. I can see why we can hold him around. By the way, Memphis Grizzlies have received Mario Hezonja. They get a good outside shooter finally, while the Philadelphia 76ers trade away Josh Jackson over to the Dallas Mavericks for veteran guard. That's great around every depth piece, part of the Trailblazers Western Conference final team. Now he's going over to the Sixers for their shooting depth problem that they've been having an issue with since the whole Al Horford incident. I don't find it as an incident except like a terrible way to use their money just to get extra bench plays, because I think if they get a legit veteran center, they can spread out the floor more with Embiid shooting the ball more. And I could see that happening, but Embiid's still going to be doing big dude stuff, and Tobias Harris, he's just going to be more of the all-around shooter. Thanks, we know Ben Simmons ain't about that. And plus, they couldn't keep Jimmy Butler. yeah, that gets your ass a first-round exit while we made it to the finals. So guess who's the winner there? Not me, because we didn't win. But other than that, big boy plays from the Sixers, trying to clean up a bit of their act. They sell out over a decent playmaker, decent over his shot. He can create his own plays. Josh Richardson has his own upsides, but I don't think it's over the system that the Sixers needed, and they get a decent depth piece that's a decent veteran and for outside shooting, that's always been a problem for the Sixers. So, good thing there. Oh, by the way, Enes Kanter's, yeah, the trade with Schroeder and Danny went through, and then Danny Green couldn't even last long there. Yeah, this is crazy, bro. I've seen plenty of crazy stuff over the NBA offseason, and some of it has been funny. It has been, in some aspects. Because, of course, I already ranted about what happened with Mason Plumlee's contract. Uh, I think we have something involving Marcus Morris, and he had a really debacle deal over this offseason. And yo, follow this guy. His name is Alfie Linguini. The guy is like really entertaining and has great takes on basketball. Please look him up, and I think he also has experience in basketball. I think he also plays college. But subscribe to that dude. Even if I'm a small channel, I'm still give credit when credit is due. He's the only. I think he's the only second channel that I know that's a LA Clipper fan next to I think Jester. So need as many legit sources from the actual fan base that I can, give it. So we of course have Marcus Morris that has recently, I think, got re-signed by the Los Angeles Clippers, and there's already, oh my God, no. Who be giving people max contracts like this? This is worse than the Schroeder deal. At least it's 3 years, $72 million for a young upstart. Isn't Marcus Morris like in his early 30s over a bench player? He got in a fight and he didn't show on until like second half of the season. Like, why is a bench warmer given such a max deal for 64 mil? Freaking, oh my God, Dak Prescott be wanting that right now, and the guy's hurt. Oh my goodness, 4 years, 64 million. That is nearly as mind-boggling as Al Horford's contract that Sixers gladly gave away. In agreement for six-man of the year, Montrezl Harrell left the Clippers to agree on a contract with the Lakers. Shoot. Forward Michael Green, another key piece, agreed to a 2-year deal worth $15 million with the Nuggets. Oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. Okay, no one cares about Patrick Peterson. Oh, he was just a decent big outside shooter for the Thunder for like a few years, and then he's like, I forgot. Okay, Patrick Peterson's on the Clippers. You need him for like a minute. Like, I'm not saying a long time. I mean a literal minute on the bench. That's it. That's all you need him for. And now you got Marcus Morris, and if we go over his statistics, I think he averages what, like 5.4 and averages at least 40 from not only from the field, from behind the arc. Sometimes you don't need those stats, especially over a bench player. Contracts like that deserve a guy that can at least have a decent field goal above 55 and a decent three of at least above 40. And he's a 4. He's a 4 to a power. So yo, oh my goodness, I didn't actually expect this. So we're gonna go over Marcus Morris, that was drafted back in 2012. He has a career total of at least 600 points, and averages only 12.1. This season, he averaged 16.7 with only 5 rebounds. He only averaged like 5 rebounds and only 1.4 assists. He got over a fight over a rookie in the preseason. The guy only played 19 games, excluding what he did earlier around only starting 43 for the Knicks, and they only went below average still over the year. And they were over a small ball aspect because they were starting Mitchell Robinson, so they had him playing the small forward, and he was averaging, oh my God, Why get him when he's averaging 40, at least over 40 in field goal percentage? The guy is garbage from starter money like this, and he's putting up below average bench warmer piss poor stats. This is ridiculous. And I only got lately addressed about this. I didn't get a lot of, because I usually get pop-ins of at least some news going over the NBA season. I didn't get much except what's going on YouTube, but by God, this is just borderline ridiculous. Who be giving money to Montrezl Harrell? They're playmaking size big that's athletic as hell. Make plays on the dot. Great key passer to give it to and can really be helpful around the foul line. You're telling me that you leave him to be in a major contract with the NBA champion Lakers while your team was set afloat with contenders and you stuck with Marcus Morris? I'd rather keep a contract with freaking Mason Plumlee for 3 years, $24 million. At least I can bomb out and you can trade him off for something. I mean, nothing. Nothing's Mason Plumlee. I mean, Marcus Morris has his abilities, but this was over him suing over a chance to be in a decent team with the Spurs, and he summed up with the rebuilding piss poor Knicks because they were going to pay him more because the Knicks are retarded. Apologies for the cursing, but I really mean it. This is probably the dumbest contract of the offseason, and we haven't even got one bigger major move except what was going on with Chris Paul ricocheting over teams. Gosh. That's it for me, I guess. That's that's your free agency update until further notice. I don't know if this is that big of a deal, but for a certain team that it wasn't even in the conference finals, the Nuggets against the Lakers, snuffing out and choking a 3-1 lead in real bad play calling, getting yourself in so much controversy over Beverly, and you still managed to mess up maybe the biggest hype you ever had since the big three you had in the Clippers just a couple of years prior. So now we gotta rely on this? Why do you have two guys on like max deals? This is like a face palm and a half plus a spoon of sugar. This is just dumb. That's all I have for you tonight, folks, man. I see a lot of dumb stuff over free agency, and don't get me started over NFL free agency signings. I think I'll go over that later because we are in the second half of the NFL season. While probably we start up late December over the holiday season for the NBA to start back up, and it's just rough. This is just rough, bro. But that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching.